Hey, I want to talk about what it means to get leads through your website. Okay, so what I've got on screen here is a recent project I just finished that is for a salon, but this could be a lot of different businesses, right? And I want to talk about how we basically use the website for the business to get them appointments into their calendar. We actually do a couple of things here that are a little more sophisticated than the typical website in that we are actually putting people into a quick little mini survey so that we can create a little decision making process automatically in the back end using AI technology and stuff like that to decide, hey, does this person just want to book an appointment? Is that the reason they're on the website? In which case, let's just push them right into booking that automatically online so that we don't have to have somebody like sitting there manning the phones all the time. Or if in this case, it's like a small business, like the person who might be answering the phone might also need to be doing something else, like cutting somebody's hair, doing eyelashes, or that kind of thing. So that is why we try to automate as much of this possible, because if you miss that call, then you may miss that lead. And especially those hot leads where it's like they just want to book an appointment, you really don't want to miss those. Of course, there's some people who come to the site and they want to find out more information. And so they're not ready to book. And of course, those folks may need some more follow up and conversation. And that's what we try to do through the survey is push those folks into sort of a queue that's, hey, we need some follow up and we got to call these folks back. And then we've got that other flow where it's like, these people are ready to go. Let's just get them in the calendar. Okay. And so that's what it means to get leads through the site is basically we set it up and I'll show you how this works here. It's a basic website. Okay. So there's nothing special about that. There's just a few photos and some text about the business. It's all somewhat generic, not completely. But then we've just got a couple of buttons here and they both do the same thing, right? Like we've kept this very, very focused in on just getting people into this workflow, right? So there isn't like a contact form on one page and an email address on another page and a phone number over here and an address over here and stuff like that. It's like we just push it all straight into that funnel so that we can basically get people's information. And that's another thing that we do here. So we talk about what does it mean to get a lead? Like I talked about, we've got those people who are sort of hot contacts and cold, warm contacts, right? And so the first thing we do on this page when they click the button, and okay, so you see what's, on the screen now. I've got two screens, so that's why I'm looking over here and looking over this way. So I apologize when I look away. I don't mean to be rude. Let me go back here. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up. I just want to show you that both of these buttons go to the same thing, right? It just opens another page and we start with asking for their follow-up information, which is just name and email address and phone number. Now, these are critical to get, right? You don't need address and stuff like that at this point. We're not asking for payments or anything like that. But you do need a way to follow up with people. And that's the first thing we're going to do here. And let's just say, Jim, example, and let's just say my email address here. And we'll just make something up for phone number, or actually I can just use that. That's fine. Okay. And then you see what happens is we get that information. Now that goes right into the backend system behind this website. Okay. So now I've got a lead generated and I've got their name and information for contacting them. Okay. And then we jump right into how can we help? And so it's just a straight up, hey, do you want an appointment? Or I clicked that. And so I hope you get a chance to see it, but it basically is just the previous page is just two radio buttons and it says, do you want an appointment or do you have questions? And depending on which one of those they choose, then the next question puts them in a different place, right? So I clicked, I want an appointment. And then basically in this case, we're doing how soon do you need to get in and ASAP or I'm flexible and any notes. We took this into, and so what's going to happen is this is going to go right into somebody's queue for follow-up. Another workflow that we're actually building for this is taking them directly into the calendar booking, like an appointment booking place, so that the person can just pick the day and time that they want to come in. And then basically from there, they're already in the calendar. We just haven't done that yet because we have to sort out the calendars, and that's what's happening. So for right now, what's happening is we just fill this out, give some info, call me ASAP, they say, right, and then submit that, and boom. Okay, we'll be in touch with them shortly, and that's the flow for now. And that's the same workflow that if they have questions, we're just going to follow up with them. But I can show you here, let's see. I can show you one of my other, this is just an example from something else that I run advertising to, where you can see basically the kind of calendar that we'll set up for these guys. Once we get that all sorted out, is we can basically take them right to a page that has this. Basically, they'll be able to say, oh, I want to come in on Thursday, the 2nd at 11:30. Okay. And then in this case, we will have already collected their information. This stuff can pre-fill, or we may not even have to ask this, but then what happens is they go into an automation and we follow up and make sure they come to the appointment and show up. And we've even got scenarios that we can build that say, did they show up? Did they not show up? Did they cancel? Like, we send them emails and links via text in case they need to cancel or reschedule those appointments. So all cool, like automation, but that's what it means to get a lead through your website. And of course, there's more generic ways, right? Like, it could just be a phone call right to your front desk phone number, or even your personal phone number, or an email. But anymore, the thing that we've learned is that the quicker you can follow up with X or returning customers, the more likely it is you'll be able to get them in. And that's our goal with these automation techniques. Is we're not trying to like sell you on, oh, the automation's great, it's robots take over the humans and stuff. It's just that we know, like, one of the biggest issues we've seen in the past couple of years is like staffing, right? Finding reliable staff. So we know business owners that we were talking to are like constantly doing more stuff than they'd like to. And how can we take automations like this and just make sure customers are still being dealt with promptly and getting what they want, which is often just an appointment for salons and stuff like that. And let's just get that done. They don't necessarily have to talk with you about that. That's what we're doing. That's what it is to get leads through your website. And that's what it looks like. It can be as simple as just having a button. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again.